I have adjusted the camera for your viewing pleasure. I'm adjusting the mic. Hopefully you don't hear me breathing through my nose, but if you do, it's going to be okay. We're just driving through the tail end, I think, of Siksika First Nation. I want to tell you a story about this company I started up with. It seemed like I wasn't getting the miles. After 6 weeks, it seemed like the company was struggling to find me a machine to pull the load. So I typed up a letter of resignation and I offered it. And the reason why I did that was because I've been through this before with other companies. You know, these trucking companies, if you complain even once about harassment or not getting enough miles, well, they put a negative sanction on you, and the next thing you know, you're getting less and less miles until you finally quit. So I decided, well, I'm just going to quit now. There's no point in playing head games with myself about getting these miles. I'll just go find another company. And I had set myself up to just go ahead and find another company that is less evil, because I found that companies are pretty evil and wicked. You know, when you've got bosses that know everything, you can't tell them nothing, and their mind snaps shut at the suggestion of anything from a lowly common driver like myself. Well, I've been through it with my former company. I only made $28,000 with them when I did my taxes. That's what my T4 said. $28,000. 28,000. Can you believe that? I hung in there for my family. I wanted my family to do well, but this company wasn't going to do it, and they were playing favorites. You know, the dispatcher, he was giving all the work to his friends, and it was based on ethnicity. Not really race, but you could call it that if you want, but I don't think so. I think it was ethnicity. The the guys that were getting the loads were of his ethnic descent. Ethnicity and race are not the same thing. Okay, race is, if you want to color categorize in race, you've got British, French, maybe Italians, maybe Greeks, uh, maybe Portuguese. But although Portuguese people are identifying as white nowadays, but it was based on ethnicity. Portuguese is an ethnicity. It's not a race. You can't be racist against a Portuguese person. You can discriminate, but you can't be racist. I suppose you can discriminate based on race, saying Portuguese are white people, and then treating them differently based on that. But it's not race. They're not a race of people. Okay? You got to go to the origins of what race is. And that's where you'll find what a race is. Not It's not what you think it is, okay? Anyways, it's all a bunch of bullshit anyways. So anyways, I was losing miles because I wasn't that ethnicity. Well, that's discrimination. And I complained about it. And then I got called into the office. And then shortly after that, I experienced some troubling things. And within 2 weeks of that, I was no longer working for that company. I gave up on them. I resigned. They sent me a letter of dismissal, but I dismissed that because I had already resigned. That's what they do. They're liars, backstabbers, and cheaters. You can't trust them. They smile and they shake your hand. Before the pandemic, when they shook hands, they had a nice smile on their face. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the company here, and can I get you something to drink? They're very charming like that. You know, I've been with this company for 20 years, and this company's really supported me well, and I haven't really got a bad thing to say. You know, we're all just sort of growing up, and we all make mistakes, but this company overall has been really good to me. Charming. It's a load of shit. But I let him talk because I need a job. And I wouldn't know until I really get to work with the company. The company before that even gave me gifts. Oh, I got free this and free that. Got invited to a Christmas party. Well, it's free booze, so a free dinner. But that company was abusive, and one thing I can't stand is when people start yelling at me for no reason. Raising your voice at me is it's not pleasant. Anyways, I complained. All I said was, don't talk to me like that, please. I'm a person. I didn't talk to you like that. I treated you with dignity and respect. I expect the same. Well, after that, I got called into the office, had a little discussion. I gave my side of the story. Next thing you know, I'm experiencing some troubling things, and within 2 weeks of that, I wasn't working there anymore. They don't like it when you know your rights. Even though they tell you in the manual, this is a harassment-free workplace. If you experience harassment in any way, please contact your human resource department and discuss it immediately, without any delay. Well, that's a load of horse shit, because the minute you do that, you're blackballed, and then you're not getting any miles. Suffice it to say that with this new company, I was driving for 3 days, but then I was sitting for 4 days. And that's part-time. And after 6 weeks of that, I realized, something's up. I'm going to have to just resign. Because I know based on my previous experience, this is what's going to go on. And I know that there's a company out there that is probably the lesser of all evils. And I do believe that I would find such a company. I just don't need to waste my time with the bullshit that I'm dealing with. So I submitted my letter of resignation, and this company refused it. this company called me back and said, no, no, we don't accept your resignation. What's going on? So I explained to them, well, it just seems like, you guys want somebody else. If you want if you want a company, or sorry, if you want team drivers, then you should just advertise for team drivers only, because it would make more sense that you have a team running a truck, because then the truck's running 24/7. It's always making money. It's making more money than one driver. So I don't think you need me, because if you don't have the equipment for me to do the work that I need to do to provide for my family, then you must want someone else. And I said, it's nothing personal. It's just the company doesn't have the equipment. Okay. Well, they said they wanted to talk about that. And they promised me a permanent truck, a truck that's assigned to me. And we talked about miles. We talked about schedules and driver planning and family time. We talked about expectations and training, and we talked about getting me into the head office over there, and making all of the arrangements. It was explained to me the reason why I am wanted for the company so much is because I have a way of talking to people with courtesy and respect, and that's what impressed them about me. They explained to me that when you come to a customer, one of their customers, how you present to them, that's when you walk in the office and they see a person approaching them, to them it's a presentation. This is a person who is presenting themselves. When you present to your customers and you're grouchy and you're not healthy and you're not taking care of yourself and you're not doing the things you need to do so that you can represent the company the way the company wants to be represented. Most drivers don't realize how important that is for a business relationship. That's what was explained to me. Well, I said I am aware of that. I do try. The last thing I want to be to anyone is antisocial. I would like for people to like me, not for people to not like me. And I want to do my job the best way that I can. That's always my goal. I have what is integrity. I believe that the person that I am, the real person that I am, isn't phony about it. It's sincere. And they said that they recognize that. So it does appear that I will be heading in the direction of their head office as discussed. And I submitted my resignation about a week and a half ago. So I did work a week of a lot of hours, pretty well maxed right out, and now I'm heading to the head office. It's not in Calgary. I'm delivering a load in Calgary. I do got to pick up precious cargo and then we're heading to the head office. I can't tell you where that is because then it'll tell you the company that I'm working for, and when I make my videos, pretty sure my company doesn't want me making videos uh, even though what I say in my videos doesn't represent the company. It represents not even what I say. Everything that I say is based on the books that I've read, the time that I've spent in the library reading articles and periodicals and skimming through uh, all kinds of academic material. If I had to go to a different library to get a different book, I would do that. So everything that if you have a problem with what I say, it's not me that you have a problem with. It's the academic material that I gleaned during my education. So it's not me. I don't care. Take it up with Howard Palmer and Olive Dickinson, Sam Vaknin. Take it up with those ones because all I did was read their books. Anyways, there it is. Anyways, we shall see what's going to go on with this company. And I hope this is the company that I'm looking for, really, because I'm sick and tired of working for phonies. But it seems like this company's pretty sincere. I have never experienced a company in my life saying, no, we don't accept your resignation. In every company, whenever there was harassment and an abuse of power and an abusive relationship, and I pointed that out, oh, you're fired. You can go somewhere else. We don't need you anymore. Or if I submitted a letter of resignation, accept it. You don't even have to work out your last 2 weeks. Goodbye. That's the power of power. That's the power of abuse of power. And you know when you work it, because you know that if you make a complaint, you know where it's going. It's sour, it's bitter. You got to go into that workplace every day, and it's toxic. It's sick, and it kills you, and it causes cancer in people. It causes ulcers. That's a sick and toxic workplace. Post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, it's childish behavior, but it's usually run by someone who is a narcissistic psychopath, who's who needs that narcissistic supply of power. So I have a feeling that this company may not be like that, and if it is, you know, it seems like the company may be going through some changes so that it can function with the best and the brightest. I hope they don't find out that I'm making these videos, because I don't want them to think that you know, like, I don't want them to be offended, like I'm misrepresenting their company. I'm not. I'm representing myself here. I'm representing I don't know, my stories. It's just they're just stories about about the truth and the honesty behind how Canada developed. It's not what everybody wants to hear. They want to live in their fantasies, but I don't really want to tell a story that that feeds into the delusion that ultimately ends up hurting people. The because that's what these fantasies do. They perpetuate racism and discrimination and harassment and abuse of power. Read The Vertical Mosaic. It's a great story by John Porter about how the British have maintained power. Well, British and Scottish, and they were the grand architects of Canada. John Porter did a really good job doing that. In fact, they credit his work, The Vertical Mosaic, with the beginning of a new science called sociology. You should check it out. But I wanted to make videos while I'm trucking and tell you these stories because I think you might like them. I think you're ready to hear them. And you can't have change without readiness. I think a lot of you viewers, a lot of people in Canada are ready for change. I think my stories will help. Did you know that I'm a poet too? I write poetry. I'll share some with you. I also have a TikTok channel. You can check that out. I talk about gotta be careful here. There's traffic ahead of me. It's a hot day, so these guys don't want to sit around waiting. They'll just go. So anyways, if you like these stories, by all means, like, share, and follow. I'll do my best to entertain you. I'll try not to offend you too much. Um, yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be all right. Let's carry on. Enjoy your day.